Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Greg, your co-host of the Grilling to Get Away podcast, and I'm here with my buddy.
What's happening, everyone? This is Ben.
And we got a few friends with us today, Ben.
Yeah, we sure do. We're out of the basement for the
Yeah.
the first time, like in front of a live crowd, man.
Yeah, this is new for us. This is episode 201. We just hit 200.
Way to kick it off.
Yeah. No, but we're at Inpro in Muskego, Wisconsin with their BBQ Club. So thanks, you guys, for inviting us out here to come talk beef jerky today, or jerky in general.
Episode 201, we're doing jerky.
Right.
How many times? I think I can count on one hand the number of times I've done jerky, Greg.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, here we go.
We push ourselves out of our comfort zone.
Yeah. I blame Colin for this,
yeah.
Colin Monahan.
Colin.
He sent it to us saying, like, hey, we want to talk jerky. Like, okay, I guess it better get to work.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
No.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So that's absolutely why we're here. So
No, it's good. It's good. It's
it's a great time of year to do it too.
We part of our thing is learn from our mistakes. So
and we can teach you.
We can teach you a lot through our mistakes. But no, we're happy to be here. Happy to talk about this stuff because this is something that we're interested in as well. And we're the backyard guys, so we like to try new things, try different things. So that's who we are and that's what we do. But before we get into that, Ben, it's only been a few days since our live podcast because we're recording this one a little bit early. But did you get a chance to grill or barbecue anything since we talked last?
Well, Halloween's right around the corner for us here, man. And based on when we're recording this, so yeah, I did pumpkin seeds.
You did? Oh,
yeah.
Pumpkin seeds.
Did the pumpkin seeds, man, and it was awesome.
So I'm assuming you gutted your own pumpkin and...
Oh, the kids did that. The kids did that.
Smart.
Yeah.
All right,
they want the pumpkins,
So you bought the pumpkins and you scraped out the insides, got the guts out, got the seeds out.
Yeah.
Now, how many pumpkins are we talking?
Two big size. Yeah, they're good ones. So lots of seeds.
So how do you go about then prepping your seeds for? Did you grill them or you smoke them? Or
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Which one?
Smoked them.
Smoked them. Okay.
Yep, just some nice, easy indirects.
And what grill did you use for that?
I used the Weber, the kettle, 22-inch.
22-inch.
Just kept it simple, man.
All
Used some. I've really been using the Jack Daniel's wood chips a lot lately, and just threw some of those on. I kept it. Man, I just used some. Let's see. I used like a spicy olive oil, like in there, just to kind of for a coating, and then I did some pop smoke. Some of our Memphis style, and then a little bit of fire in the hole to add just a little bit more of a kick to it. And
now, did you let the pumpkin seeds dry overnight first or anything like that? So you make sure they're really dry, right? You don't want to do them wet, and then you put the olive oil on, and then you season it.
Yep.
Okay. Now, did you just put them in like a tin, or what?
Yeah,
How did you, a tin on the 22-inch?
Yeah, super simple.
Yeah.
Then just let them ride. Just about every 15-ish, 20-ish minutes, would go out and just kind of stir, move them around, shake the pan around.
Shake it up.
Yep. Then close the lid.
And how long, again, did you say that you were on there for?
That's probably about an hour and a half.
Okay. Not too bad.
Not too bad.
And how did you know they were done, man?
I tasted them.
Okay.
Simple
enough, right?
I was like, all right, this feels good.
Okay.
So, and I think I had to leave soon too. So I was like, well, they got to be done. So
Good
I was like running out of kind of charcoal there. I was getting down to it, and I'm like, I'm not gonna add more to it. They feel good, so I'm gonna roll with it.
All right, it's a good way to test things.
Yeah,
they feel good. They look good. They taste good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. The kids had practice, so I threw them in a sandwich bag for them that night, and they're like, "Oh, Dad, you made pumpkin seeds!" Like, heck yeah, and they were pumped, man.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And they liked it. They liked that. So did it have a little bit of spice to it then?
Yeah, they didn't say anything. So I don't know.
Well, they're probably used to it.
Yeah, I don't think that they
put spice
noticed.
in everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so you did the pumpkin seeds, which is great. We'll have to get that recipe from you so we can put it on the website.
Do we not have a pumpkin seed?
We do have one out there, but it's just very generic, right?
Oh,
just,
okay.
Like our garlic seasoning.
All right, yeah. So. I'll type that up and get that over to you. Because, again, pop smoke, man. I
Yeah.
use it for everything, right? It's pretty versatile. Yeah, I just kind of mixed it with a little bit of fire in the hole, just to add that extra kick. But you don't have to do that.
And that's the best thing about pumpkin seeds is you can flavor it however you want.
However you want to.
Sweet, savory, spicy, man, whatever you like. And you can do multiple batches, too. You got lots of pumpkins.
Yeah, dude, we didn't have that many pumpkin seeds. It was enough for one. I was like, they're all going to be the same this year.
Mm-hmm. No, and to be honest, we didn't do any of this.
I know you didn't.
Well, we asked the kids. We're like, "Hey, you guys want to go to the pumpkin patch or whatever?" Like, nah. They're getting to that point where they're like, "Nah, Dad, come on."
Oh, how are we supposed to make pumpkin seeds then?
I know.
I don't know about that.
I know. So yeah, it's end of an era, I guess. But there's still time. Maybe just
when they go on sale.
Yeah. Wait a few more days and we should be good.
Smart.
Yeah. Good, man. Well, I'm glad you got to do something like that. I didn't get a chance to do anything like that, but I was prepping for this episode.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I came over. And
you
were
did,
in the middle of the process. Like, all right, well,
and you got to taste it first.
Should be done by about the time we're done with this podcast.
Yeah,
so.
I timed it up. Didn't you? How you like that?
Yeah, I don't know if you did that on purpose.
Yeah. Don't say I never did nothing for you.
Yeah, here we go. I brought you a bag of pumpkin seeds. Don't worry about it.
Did you hear today?
I did. Yeah.
Oh wow. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
No, I know you're lying.
No, but as we were prepping for the podcast today, I was looking at my freezer and just doing some research on like what kind of cuts of meat were the best for jerky and stuff like that. So I was looking through the freezer and I got like a 2 or 3, maybe even 4 like rump roasts. So I was like, yeah, maybe I can do that. So I pulled it out, and as I was doing more research, I was like, yeah, this would definitely work because when you're looking for jerky, you're looking for lean cuts of meat.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that was one of the questions we had.
Yeah.
Before we came in here, like what kind of meat should we do? What's the best type of meat to use in making jerky? Honestly, you're looking for lean cuts of meat, not as fatty. And the rump roast didn't really have much fat on it. I did have to trim a little bit off there. Any visible fat you want to kind of trim off. So that was good. I mean, other ones like eye of round, top roast or top round sirloin you could do.
I had a guy recommend flank steak too. He liked it because it's just kind of thin and easy to cut.
Yeah, that's right. And we like cheap stuff, so anything
Absolutely.
is cheap and lean,
ready to go.
Yeah. And we know somebody. I think Colin, you said you had venison here. That's perfect for that. I saw some other recipes that call for like bison, very lean
moose,
very lean cuts of meat. So yeah, any type of meat that's really lean. And I did see like if people are using like ground beef or whatever for whatever reason, like they're maybe using like a jerky gun, stuffing it in there. You're looking anything 90-10, something low fat would be ideal for it. So. And the whole reason for that, at least from my research, is that to make sure it lasts longer. If you have a lot of fat in there, it's going to spoil easier. So that's why you want to trim and you want to get lean cuts of meat. Mm-hmm. But I had one of those bad boys. It was about 2.5 pounds, which is perfect. So I was like, hey, let's try this thing out.
Did you do the whole thing?
I did, man.
Nice.
Did, yeah. I'm very fortunate where I have 2, because I did these inside. I did them in the oven. This was the first time I was trying out this recipe, so I was like, let's eliminate all the variables and just go with kind of a steady, slow, low dehydration process. So I did it in the oven.
Because you don't have it dehydrated.
I don't.
And a lot of recipes call for that.
Yeah, some of them do, yeah. So I did. I used my oven. And I just found a simple do-it-yourself like jerky recipe.
So it's funny, man. When I came over to your house, you were telling me about this recipe. I was like, dude, I think I found the same exact recipe. Yeah. And it's really straightforward. It's really simple. It's funny too because when I got there, like you had the oven cracked open. Mm-hmm. Can you explain that?
Yeah. So obviously with meat, when you're trying to dehydrate it, there's some moisture that's coming out. So I had like a wooden spoon, just cracking open the oven just a little bit so that moisture can escape. It helps kind of shorten the process a little bit and get that moisture out of there so the jerky can dehydrate. And I put them on wire racks, so you have your racks in the oven, but I have kind of thinner wire racks that I put all the strips on, so a lot more airflow that way.
Mm-hmm. Did you have a sheet pan underneath it?
I didn't, man. So what I did was I lined the bottom of my oven with
like what, wax paper?
No, not wax paper, aluminum foil. Sorry.
Okay.
But I was surprised though, like with that rump roast, like I was expecting a little bit of moisture dripping down, but there was maybe a few drops. So it wasn't that much moisture that it was like the bottom was all wet or anything like that. It was just a few drops, easy cleanup. But yeah, you could definitely put a pan underneath there in case you get more. But
okay. All right, man. So let's talk through this recipe. Yeah. So you start off. What temp were you rolling with in the? in the oven?
Well, I'll start off with kind of the prep. So I pulled it out of the freezer a few days early. I let it defrost in the fridge, but I wanted it to be a little bit cold. I wanted it to be like a semi, not all the way frozen, but maybe like 25% still a little bit frozen so I can cut it easier into those thin slices.
And get more of like the same size pieces.
Same size, yeah. So because if it's defrosted, then it's all it's jiggly and it's hard to cut. So one of the tips that we have if like you're cutting your own jerky with a knife or whatever is leave it a little bit frozen still, and then chill your knife and maybe even your cutting board. So because as you're cutting and as it's on the cutting board, it's like room temperature, so it's gonna maybe defrost it a little bit more. So chill it for a few minutes before you actually start slicing. So chill the knife and the cutting board. But I was looking for they say like nickel slices, like the size of a nickel, you know what I mean, like the width of a nickel, like slices of.
It's pretty thin.
Yeah, and then all the other ones, all the recipes I was looking at were like a quarter inch.
Okay.
So I did some, like the ones I brought here were like the nickel thin slice, and they dehydrated down quite a bit. But I did ones a little bit thicker that are at home, that are kind of more like nuggets. You could say like you could cut them up into like nugget pieces,
sure.
Which is fine for the boys, right? So,
yeah, they crush that.
Yeah, but so that was the first thing I did was like I sliced them up nice. Again, you want to cut against the grain, right? So when you get that nice pull when we're biting into it. But this was a really simple recipe, and that's kind of what I wanted to try with it first. Nothing over the top. It was soy sauce based, really. A couple tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, some brown sugar, salt, garlic powder, onion powder. I didn't have smoked paprika, so I went with sweet and then just black pepper. They called for meat tenderizer, but I didn't have any meat tenderizer, so I just rolled with what I had. So that was a marinade essentially. So I put it all in a bag, and then I mixed it all together and I let it marinate overnight. So I think that was kind of one of the questions too, is like how long should we marinate them? Everything I've seen and read is at least 4 to 6 hours, because you want that flavor to permeate the meat. But mine was overnight. It was probably about 18 hours.
Okay.
You could go up to maybe 36.
So that's interesting, man. So I did one when Colin had reached out originally, and I had like a day real quick to do it. And I picked up a cure online.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that too.
We're going to talk about that. So like I wanted to just mention that too. Like I tested this out and I wanted to see kind of the difference, I guess.
The difference. So you did one cured and one not cured?
No, I did the full cure.
Whole
and then
okay.
I tested you
tried mine. Okay. All right.
Just to kind of see so we could compare.
So you didn't tell me this ahead of time.
I didn't tell you this. No.
Yeah. So you're sandbagging me.
Well.
You didn't tell me you did some jerky before my jerky. So like here I am, like, oh, look at this. Here's some jerky.
Yeah.
And you already did a batch.
Yeah.
Didn't bring any share.
We'll talk about this later.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Carry
on.
What do you want to know?
Tell me about your cured jerky.
Oh, so I just got a thing of I talked to this guy when we were out at Holy Hill, and he mentioned like he started talking about like doing jerky. I'm like, oh, dude, I just had a buddy who reached out. We got to talk jerky soon. So yeah, and he stayed for like 5 minutes. Told me his whole process and stuff. He gets the PS seasonings. He just buys that packet, and
their jerky.
Yeah, their jerky kit that they have.
Nice.
And so it's funny too, because when I was up in Eagle River, I had somebody else talk to me about it, and like, I mean, these guys go to like a bar like every weekend, and they make like just pounds of jerky that they take and they sell there, I guess, and they swear by High Mountain. So
the jerky,
yeah, the jerky cure, like the kit too.
High Mountain.
Yep.
Okay.
So I grabbed a packet of that. The High Mountain.
Where'd you find that at?
Just on Amazon.
Amazon.
Okay. Yep. So and it like the packet that I got cures up to 10 pounds of meat, and it's got the cure in it. I got a pepper garlic. So
just basic kind of.
Very standard. Yeah, like very standard jerky, and like it comes with a whole pamphlet inside, man. Like it makes it really, really easy.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well,
that's how we like it. Really
exactly.
easy. Yeah.
Tell me what to do, please. So it tells you kind of a breakdown, like, how much cure to use versus, and how much of the seasoning to pop on there. Based on weight, it gives kind of some examples of like cuts to use. It has like oven options, has smoking options. Like it really just kind of it makes it super, super simple. So if you're just kind of starting out and stuff, I mean, that's, to me, like I was like, all right, well, this makes it really, really easy. And the guy that I talked to, he recommended, he said he gets like just kind of some round steaks from Costco. And he buys like the big pack, and then he'll just do like a couple at a time, like a pound or two at a time, and then he says he throws them on his smoker and just 175 for 4 hours, and then he pulls them.
Wow.
Yeah, that's literally all he said. Yeah. Yep. And so I was like, all right. So I kind of did the same thing.
Because 175 is a little bit higher than what I've seen. I've seen like 140. I've seen 150.
It's funny you say that because in the kit it says go at 200 for like 2 hours.
Ooh, okay.
So I was like, I don't want to do that.
All right.
So I went 175 for 4.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it obviously cuts down the time a little bit then. And it makes sense, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But what do you risk? If you're going at a high temperature.
I mean, it was very much like, don't over smoke it,
right,
don't overcook it.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I've done that.
Yeah,
plenty
right.
of times.
Yeah.
Like, thanks. That's helpful.
Thanks for the tip. Yeah. All right. So you did the cure.
Yep.
Okay.
I felt like the cure had seemed a lot saltier than kind of yours. Honestly, what it made me think of was like the stuff that my dad gets like back in northern Michigan, like when he gets a deer and like takes it to a place and gets it
processed,
gets like the sticks and stuff for it. That's really what it like kind of made me think of.
Yeah, I mean, some of the things, again, as we were doing research for this, people say like for the cured, they have the nitrates, the nitrites in there. So, it's not all natural. There's people have their preferences of what they like, what they don't like. So,
I just wanted to test it out.
Yeah,
just kind of play.
Because I think that's a great point because like when I gave, my wife Becky one of the pieces of jerky, she's like, wow, it tastes like beef. Because like a lot of the jerky maybe you get at the store or something doesn't necessarily maybe taste like beef, right?
Yeah.
So just one point to get, again, like it's good to try different things out to see what you like. So
yeah, and I didn't feel like I necessarily like needed the cure, and if I were to do it again, I'd probably like tone back like how much cure I guess I put in.
Sure. Yeah, and again, like the cured, it helps with longer shelf life.
Kind of drying it out a little bit during the cook.
And it's good for beginners because it gives you a little more room for error. So if something happens, like you're okay with it. Like the jerky I made in the oven, I didn't use a cure. I got to watch it, to make sure. I just made it the other day, so it's not bad. It's not going to go bad, but they say like a week really. So you got a short, shelf life So you got to make sure that you're, keeping an eye on it if you're not going to be eating it all right away. But yeah, so I marinated it overnight, and then I set. My ovens only go down to 150, so I set it at 150.
What does the recipe call for
to
take it down to?
It says 145, so not too bad. So 4 to 6 hours.
What are you freaking out? Like, well, great, can't do anything, right?
Come on, man. I was like, this is gonna ride. We're doing this anyway.
145.
Yeah, okay.
That's close enough.
But like I felt because I was propping open the oven door that it was gonna keep temperature around 140 anyways.
Sure.
So 4 to 6 hours. Mine was about 4 hours when you came over and we took it out. But this was the interesting piece of this recipe. It called like after you dehydrate it for 4 to 6 hours, then you crank the heat up to 275, and then you put it back in for 10 minutes on like a baking sheet. So that's what I did. Like I followed the recipe.
Kind of almost crisp it up a touch.
Yeah, I felt it. Maybe it did crisp it up a little bit.
And that's where too. Maybe if you are looking for like a specific, like maybe a bark on there too.
Right.
You could do that. Pull it off the smoker and bring it in, and just kind of just with kind of a little bit of the higher heat and on that baking sheet.
Yeah.
Burn up the. Smart.
You can only have your food at 140 for 4 hours before you get bacteria.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point. What do you say? I couldn't hear exactly what he said.
Food safe.
I want to make
purposes.
sure people can hear.
Yeah, food safe purposes.
Yeah. What, the temperature?
Yeah, because you can only have meat going up to 145 for 4 hours. You said, and then bacteria kicks in.
Like 140 for like 4 hours, you can risk your danger zone of bacteria growth. So that's part of like why people also use cure.
Yeah.
Is you can help eliminate the risk of bacteria growth.
Which is what we want.
No botulism either.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that's what he was just saying is that people use cure a little bit to help eliminate the bacteria possibility of bacteria growth and things like that. So, but yeah, so we took it out of the oven, let it rest for a few minutes, and then you just kind of tore a few pieces off.
And
It was good
I mean,
flavor. It was a basic recipe. You know, there was no flavors in here that were really going to make it jump out at you or anything like that. But I just wanted to get the process down and see how the process went.
And really, like, it's not really the temp, right? Like, you're kind of going off of, like, the feel of the meat. Is everything
We've
that
all
we
had
read.
jerky before, right?
Yeah,
And we all
it's-
know what good jerky tastes like. So it's like, oh, this isn't bad. It's
Has,
not
like,
bad jerky.
The bend to it. No,
Yeah.
it's not just splitting apart and stuff.
Yeah, so it came out. We tried some pieces. Like, okay, this isn't that bad. All right, for a first
Yeah.
try, you know,
Yeah.
first try in the oven. But if there's anything that I would do differently on this one, you know, maybe I would. You know, next time I'll do like definitely. I got another rump roast, so I'll probably try some different flavors with that. But next step is taking it out to the smoker for a little bit when I have a little bit more time, and then. One of the questions is, does it have to be, do you have to have a smoker? Do you have to do it in the smoker? Or can you start in the smoker and then finish it in the oven? I'd say yes, yes and to all of those things. Like, you definitely don't have to do it in a smoker, but if you start there and you finish in the oven, I think that's totally fine. It's up to the cook, right? So
Yeah.
you're going low and slow anyways. So I know charcoal and fuel isn't the most cheap thing nowadays. So sometimes just getting a nice kiss of smoke on there and then putting it in the oven would be a good idea.
Yeah, that was the one thing too in the kit that said, like, don't over smoke it or you'll get like that sour taste at the end.
Really?
Yep.
That's what the kid said.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was my process. So I gave some to the boys, got the 3 boys, and they're like, it was gone. Like, I gave them like a half a bag, because we were at a basketball game. I was like, they were coming from school, so I just tossed them a bag and like, hey, I made some jerky today. And they wolfed it down. So that's a good sign. I mean, they eat anything,
Yeah. Hungry? Yeah.
but they're like passing it out like, hey, my dad made this, So that was pretty good. That was a good sign.
Well, that's the next business idea, Greg. Is.
Oh, well, one thing at a time, man.
Yeah, sure.
So,
Write it down, though.
oh, yeah, mental,
Yeah, steel trap.
like an elephant.
Uh-huh.
Never forgets.
Never forgets.
Good. Well, tell me more about your cured, jerky that you've been holding out on me for.
Well, I told you a lot about it already.
So did you marinated overnight?
Yep.
Okay. And then you put it
But
on.
there was no, like, liquid or anything.
No
like,
liquid. It was just strictly the cure.
Strictly the cure and, like, the seasoning that came with it.
Okay.
So, and then...
So it was like a dry marinade.
Yep.
Right.
Yep, just overnight. And then I fired up the smoker like kind of right away in the morning and got it to like 175. So I mean, it was just like a handful of like bricks and stuff, really not too much at all. And then I was like, well, I was trying to think on like how I wanted to do it. So I took one of the kind of like the throwaway tin pans and I've like kind of those cookie sheets, right? And it fit like perfect just with kind of the legs in there. And so I was very careful and put all the pieces like right on top of there and it stayed and it worked. And then I just let that ride. And I checked it after 2 hours and then again after another hour. And then at 4, I was like, all right, these are pretty
Those
good.
are to your liking.
Yep.
And that was it then? That was the 4 hours, and then...
Yeah.
And you said like you could taste a little bit more of kind of the it's the saltiness of the cure.
Yeah.
For
Yeah, my wife said that too. I said, she goes, she's like, these are really good. And, my son Cal, he was crushing them. But, so, Dad, you made beef jerky? I was like, heck yeah, buddy. And, but then he was like, yeah, I don't like beef jerky, Dad. He's like, this is my favorite. I'm like, wow, great. Great.
That's a good sign.
Yeah. And it's like, well, since when don't you like beef jerky?
Right.
Really? But yeah, and then but then I said too, like, yeah, I feel like it's kind of salty, and she was like, yeah, maybe a touch. And
Was
stuff,
there
but-
any way you could use like you overdid the cure? Like,
Oh, yeah,
could
'cause-
you measure it out?
Well, yeah, so it was based on, it was like 1 pound of meat, 2 pounds of meat, 3 pounds, and like it kind of went up. It's about like, I think the recipes like kind of went up to about 4 or 5 pounds, and like I said, it makes up to 10 pounds of meat. So,
Now, did you actually measure out your meat?
I did,
Or
man.
did you eyeball
I
it?
weighed it. I weighed it and
Wow.
everything.
Ooh.
Yeah. So,
All right, here we go.
but then, numbers are hard.
Yeah.
So going from kind of that specific weight to like making sure the cure and everything kind of worked, that's where I eyeballed things and kind of did some mental math, and it's how it came out.
Did you rinse the cure off before you stuffed it?
No. So like in the thing, it says like you kind of do both. Like they didn't say to rinse it off. It just said, you take. So I'm sorry. The question was if I rinsed the cure off before I put the seasoning on, but it literally just like it's like a teaspoon of the cure and teaspoon and a half of the rubber, the seasoning and stuff. So I threw them both in the bag and just shook the meat all up and stuff. Threw it back in the fridge, and then kind of in the morning when I got up, I flipped it so it could just kind of rotate around a little bit and stuff. And then I just ran with it. Have you read where it says to?
No, it's just like with doing turkey brines and stuff.
Right. Yeah. And so I mean, I guess you could. It didn't say anywhere in there to do that, I guess. So no. So I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna run with this and not rinse it, because I kind of thought like the same thing too. Like, I've never. Have you ever really just gotten a cure for really anything else before? I don't think I've ever really gotten a cure and. I mean, we've done the brines, and that like for the turkey, like you're talking about, like absolutely, yeah, I do rinse. I rinse that off after I brine it and stuff.
No.
This is more similar to like a sausage cure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
It doesn't rinse off. It's supposed
Yep.
to penetrate all the way.
And getting in the meat and stuff. So, yeah. So.
Now, did you find that you had a pool of like liquid or anything on top of the meat when you pulled it out?
And after
The cure? Yeah.
No.
Okay. That was one thing like this recipe called like if you did have like any fat pockets inside like the meat as you're dehydrating it, like you just had to check on it, make sure like that stuff didn't pool on top. So you just like grab a paper towel and dab it off or anything like that.
Yeah, no, like I said, I mean, it pretty much helped suck all the liquid out and stuff.
Sure.
I mean, it helped with that dehydration process and
Did it?
stuff.
Yeah.
And I had read too, it's kind of along the same concept, man, of like you putting leaving like the oven open like a crack and stuff.
Right.
If you don't have like a dehydrator or stuff, I've read same thing, like doing it with like the smoker and stuff. I closed the lid. It was really cold when I was doing it. I was like, well, I'm just gonna try this out and just see what happens. It did.
Well, I mean, when you're using the grill, I mean, you have the vents, right? So you have kind of natural.
And I had them like I was using the Huntsman from Spider Grills.
Oh, you were okay.
So it would kind of stay right at that like 175 mark and use like the venom to puff up the air to keep it there. So like the bottom grate's completely closed. The top grate is only cracked like quarter of the way since you're staying so low, and it just sat the whole time.
Nice, man. Mm-hmm. I'll have to try some I'd be having left.
Yeah.
Compare.
Well, so I did what this guy said, and I got the round steak from Costco, and I'm like cutting it up and stuff, and I'm sitting there thinking like, man, this is a lot of meat to put on like this one tin pan. So like I saved a bunch too.
That's a good idea. Like
Yeah.
start small.
Now, well, I
try
kind of know
out.
what this cure was gonna
Yeah.
be like, and I've never used High Mountain. Had good reviews and stuff. I have nothing bad to say about PS seasonings.
Right, yeah.
I just grabbed High Mountain and stuff instead. Because the guy that I talked to about the PS seasonings, he was like, well, I want something like spicier when he was with us, and he got Fire in the Hole to try out. So,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool, man. So, but that's why I went High Mountain. And I didn't want to do like a whole
Yeah, that's smart.
a whole
Yeah,
thing
you
and
wanna,
just like dive into it. I was like,
Right.
well, we'll just kind of test this one
That's
out.
a grill tip from
Yeah.
Ben. Start
So-
small. Don't use
I
the
mean-
whole cut of meat if
Yeah.
you're just trying something new.
Yeah. So save some for later.
Yeah, for the next batch.
Mhm.
Nice. That's good, man. And flavor was good though, on point.
Yeah. Well, I asked my wife, I was like, was it too smoky? Because that's
Yeah.
always a concern. And she said no. So,
Good.
okay, good.
Good.
Because after 4 hours too,
Yeah.
and like I said, they're thin, real small cuts of meat. You can easily dry out and stuff. I was kind of happy I kept the lid on too, because it kind of helped keep some of that, like a little bit of moisture, so it wasn't like that pull, like that tug you had. It was a little bit more tender too.
Sure. That's good. Good. I'm glad it worked out for you.
Me too. Yeah.
Nice. Yep. All right, man. What kind of questions here we got? I think we hit most of them. I think the only thing is like one of the questions is, do you have to, should you buy store-bought jerky packets or make your own marinade jerky cure? You could go with either or. I think for beginning, it's easier to buy something, just try it out. But then as you get going, start playing, making your own stuff.
There's a ton of cool recipes out there too, and I mean you can kind of, we do talk to a lot of people who like the garlic, who like a spicy garlic, who want the spicy, who want just different flavors and stuff in there. So you can kind of again follow a recipe a bit, but then make it your own too.
Yeah, and that's what we like to do, man. We like to go off of somebody's template that they've made and then kind of get creative with it.
Yeah.
With our own, like, what styles and what flavors that we like.
So I'd gotten a book, too, before. My dad had got me this for Christmas. What's called the Jerky Bible. And
Nice.
it's how to dry, cure, and preserve beef, venison, fish, and fowl. And it's by Kate Fiducia.
Oh, okay.
So she's got a ton of tips, tricks, recipes, and stuff in here, all based on, kind of doing it in the oven, doing it, in a smoker, doing it in an electric smoker. I think that there's a section in here like doing it in the microwave too. So,
really?
Yeah.
Dang.
I don't
know if I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I didn't dive too far into that one. I was
Who
like,
knows?
I'm not sure.
Who knows?
But when you're a jam,
Right,
you have
yeah.
options, Greg.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, and she's got a ton of recipes too. There's even stuff in the back too for making jerky for like your dog, Greg. So I'll make sure and send those to you.
Oh, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. So
So what's funny is, let's see if I still got the email from this guy. There's a new company out there that they make dehydration kits for like your cooler, so like your igloo coolers or whatever like that. So they have like this prototype where you place one end in, you place one end out, and then you place your meat inside the cooler, and you close it, and it acts like this device acts like a dehydrator. So you don't have to buy a smoker, you don't have to you just
have to buy it.
You have a cooler, and I'll have to find this, but he was asking if like we wanted to test one out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just looked a little too much. I was like, it's but maybe we'll reach out to him and see. But it was interesting, definitely interesting. And I'll link all that stuff to you, like as part of this podcast, like the book, that company, this recipe. Like I'll put it all in the show notes, so if people are interested in looking at it. And once I find it, you can go and check it out. But I thought that was interesting. Just kind of again one of those things like we're gonna be talking about jerky, and all of a sudden like this company reaches out and is like, hey, you want to try this new
heck yeah,
thing?
we do. Send it over.
I don't know, man. I didn't look at all the details. Like,
Send it over.
all right, I'll send it to you, and you can respond.
Perfect. All right. Yeah, man. That'd be fun to test out.
It looked like a lot of work. With my oven, I can kind of just set it. My smoker, I know what's going on. Like this had like a circuit board and had, hoses and things. I was like, it's a little too much. Yeah.
Just a method to figure out when it's done enough.
Yeah. So so when it's done enough, like for the
Dryness.
yeah, you mean like what I was just talking about, like the prototype, or like just in general.
Just when the jerky is done in general.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Some people like it a little more steak buttery. Some people like it really dry.
like a piece of leather that you can just sit and suck on all day. Just
Well,
pop in your
some
lip.
it depends. Like the recipe called for like the one I was looking at, like that it bends but it doesn't break.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one. But again, like it's personal preference a lot of times.
And that's kind of where too. Like I didn't want to do like this full thing of meat, right? And just test it out to get like a feel for like the temp, the time, and kind of like where I wanted it at. And like I know Colin did some stuff too, and he finished his off in the oven. He said, so it's like it's really up to you to get it to where that temp, like that pull, I guess that you're really looking for. So, I mean, in this book too, like they have it like tons, like almost like kind of different styles as well. Because like again, I know we're fortunate enough to have some of our products here in like the jerky outlet out in Franklin.
Yeah.
And like those guys would walk around with like scissors in their pocket and like cut it, and like I mean it's literally like a piece of leather that they're cutting, and like you sample it. So it just really depends. I know like what Costco has, like that bag of like the jerky strips, and it's like the steak bites, and they're super tender, and it's a lot different. Obviously, I'm sure what they're doing, this is doing it on like the smoker yourself, but you can get that, like just kind of go like a little bit thicker, or doing your meat cutting it a certain way, or like Greg did his, like that nickel thin and stuff. Like the thinner you go, obviously it's going to be, you're probably going to get more of like that kind of leather, like that chew and that bite to it. Rather than keeping it a little bit thicker, you'll keep a little bit of like more like that, I guess, kind of tender. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I was just telling the guys my favorite road trip snack is turkey jerky.
Nice, yeah.
Have you guys ever made turkey jerky, or what would you recommend?
Well, I've overdone my turkey for Thanksgiving, so it's like jerky sometimes. But no, actually, no, I've never made like actual like turkey jerky. Yeah. Have you?
I think I was at your house that year for
Oh, yeah,
Thanksgiving,
probably.
so, yeah. No, I've never done turkey jerky either. Where do you typically get that from? Is there like a certain kind that you get, or you just see turkey jerky and you grab it?
Like the Jack Links one is
The Jack Links.
usually like the quick trips and stuff like that. Yeah. But I tried. There was one I think down in Tennessee, like a small place that I tried some, and I've just always really liked the flavor of it.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, this book has like recipes for like even like fish jerky, which sounds crazy to me, and like it has a ton of options in there. So I know that there is a recipe for like turkey or chicken. I think there's some kind of like wild game as well, like some fowl and stuff like pheasant or something like that too. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know specifically. I've never tried it, but I mean, I know turkey's easy to dry out, you know.
It's something to try, you know.
Yeah.
Get a nice turkey breast, you know. See
Yeah.
something like that. Try it out. But well, Ben, like we're gonna wrap up the podcast. We're gonna stick around and answer more questions though. But before we jump off here, you got any plans for the weekend or anything for grilling or smoking?
I have nothing planned. Nothing planned right now. We'll see. We're winding down, and I have like Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon kind of open.
Oh,
so it's
jeez.
like, here we go. Yeah, I know. That's kind of what I was thinking too. Like, I know. So we'll see. It's kind of. I don't know. I woke up thinking about goulash this morning. I don't know why.
I'm making smoked baked potato soup this week.
No, nice.
Okay, smoked baked potato soup.
Could do a podcast episode on that.
We'll see you next week, Colin. Call you up.
Yeah. Good, man. Well, I hope you get a chance to get out there.
I'm planning
I know
on
it's
it.
been a long time since
Yeah.
you guys have been running quite a bit.
Running. What about you?
Man, we're still running. So basketball, football's done. Basketball
Yeah.
starts. So we got basketball tournament this weekend. But maybe Sunday. Like, you know, my wife likes to plan out the meals. So like on Sunday is like beef stroganoff.
Ooh, there you go.
And she's conveniently gone that day. So
Well, that sounds like
it sounds like
canvas for you to make some beef stroganoff.
it does. Yeah, it does. So
Shoot.
I know. Yeah. Pull out some of that beef stew meat.
Yeah.
We'll see what else we got in there. But that's what I'm thinking.
Can't go wrong.
No, man. All right, man. Well, this is a good episode. Again, thanks everybody for listening.
Thanks for having us out at Inpro.
yeah, thanks,
This is
Inpro.
awesome. We appreciate you guys and getting
The
allowing us
BBQ
to come
Club.
back again.
Yeah. This has been awesome. So, well, that's all I got, man.
All right, sounds good.
All right, cheers.
Take it easy.